Hey guys, how's it going? Just about quitting time here on a Wednesday afternoon, but I just wanted to show you my progress from today. I was unfortunate today because my guy was feeling under the weather from yesterday. I think the heat got to him, so he wasn't able to work today. But we had a crane day. The builder was nice enough to order the crane just because these trusses are huge and they go front to back, and there'd be no real way of getting them on besides a lot of struggle. So that was really nice. We like to put the trusses up in packages, so maybe this whole roof went up in 3 or 4 packages. I know the crane guys don't really like it when you lift one at a time. So this is it. Right here I have a triple girder. That's basically holding up, I'd say 60% of the roof, which goes front to back. Now, I want to show you something real quick. This is how you can tell if somebody's leveled the floor or not. Let me try to give you an example here. So look at the ceilings and how they meet the 2x4 on the bottom. Same thing on this side. I know there's some discrepancies in the trusses, whether they are crowned up or not, but all in all it should be pretty flat. And in doing so, when you level the floor, these ceilings should contact the inside walls. When you nail it down, that makes for a stronger house. So right here I have a 1-foot box up coffered ceiling all the way around the master bedroom here. I got his and hers closets. And basically a quick tip, when you guys are starting the roof, make sure you try to take 5 minutes and figure out your overhang and which overhangs have to be right. In this case, it's my front gable on the lower that I based this overhang off, and I got the measurement earlier when I did the walls so that my gable would stay centered. My gable being right here. They're still on the ground, those trusses, but and these tails would end up being nice and flush. So when I did the walls, I also went coming off the back and I had a truss layout, so I knew where exactly this truss had to be in relation to the back of the house. So this triple girder will land flush to the inside of that outside wall, if that makes any sense. This triple girder right now, it's just braced just so it's out of the way when I stand these walls. Tomorrow morning I will finish first thing putting the jacks here in, these 12-12 jacks, and then I will put the 2x10 header for here, and that way you can do ceilings and take off some of these inside wall braces. After that, I'm gonna go to the lower section here and install these trusses here, which are boxed. As you can see, they go across and then down. So I'm gonna install those to basically free up space for this girder, because that right there is not very optimal, the positioning, and just getting a gun in there would be very frustrating. So that's the game plan anyway. We'll probably end up putting a whole box of nails in that triple girder, but that's what the code calls for. 2 nails every 4 inches. This is one of the few houses on this job site that also gets T-braces, meaning instead of some of the webbing, you put T-braces. Now, in the truss schedule, the layout book, you'll find everywhere that they require T-bracing. So I have 7/12 on the back and 12/12 on the front. And I think in the front there I have a little cottage with 9/12. But just because of that measurement, you can see how big my hip extensions are. I think it's exactly 50 inches. I wrote it down here. Because you have a big pitch combined with a smaller pitch, you're gonna end up with a huge hip. Yeah, 50-inch hip. My 12/12 blocks were 31 and 13/16, long to short. So there you have it. So I will give you an update tomorrow. And you know what, I'm gonna do an action video tomorrow. I'll put the GoPro on my hard hat and try to show you something different. I haven't done an action video in a while, so I think I'm due when it comes to that. All right guys, take care, be safe, drink lots of water. Bye for now.